My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And happy Easter to anyone who celebrates. I myself do not, but I do get to enjoy a nice long weekend with my husband.
There you go.
Even if you don't, happy spring, I guess.
If you live in the areas that are
yes,
spring,
that have spring.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in the northern
Happy
hemisphere, happy autumn. If you're in the southern hemisphere,
Happy Monday.
Happy. I hope you enjoyed your week. Hope you enjoyed your weekend.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're recording this on the Thursday before Good Friday, so like,
yeah, we're in the
we haven't experienced the weekend yet, but we're going into it, you know, knowing that a long weekend for some of us is happening. Anyway, today we decided we just want to do like a chill, fun episode to lead us into the holiday weekend, just to like hang out and keep it sort of like Easter springy, sort of vaguely themed. At first we were like, let's do like the, you know, just do bunnies. We can do that, just an excuse to talk about Wonho. But then we realized we already last year at literally the same week did a wonderful episode called Noonas 101 Animals, which will be linked in the blog post about this episode on certifiednoonas.com. But we'll touch on that in a little bit.
And there was a whole bunny subsection within.
Yes,
yeah. So
Yeah.
so we'll briefly touch on that. But we decided instead we were going to take it in a little branched off a little, and we're just going to talk about, you know, Alice in Wonderland as a theme. Just have a little bit of a cash fun time. Coming in with bunnies, ended up with Alice in Wonderland, because you know. That's how these things go.
We followed that little rabbit trail.
We fell down the rabbit hole, as it were, and are here now. So yes, Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to make a bold assumption, and assume that most people listening to this have a passing knowledge of Alice in Wonderland.
I was the red chess queen in our production of Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh. Fun. So if you're not, it's basically a fantasy story from the 1800s about a girl who follows a white rabbit down a hole and ends up in a crazy LSD style fantasy world. It's wild. It's a wild time.
On the book side, there's a lot of math, but we won't talk about that.
But like, it's also been like there's like several different book versions that you can find that. You know, there's like the young adult version. There's the adult version.
There's even like the Disney version and that sort of thing. So
there's the questionable erotic versions that you find, because there is of every Rule 42. Am I right? There's one of everything. So yeah, and as with all things, the themes present in it show up in the Asian entertainment world as well, because it is one of those like enduring stories that exist in the world, you know.
I always feel like they, like within Asian dramas, they, you know, they'll reference fairy tales, Western fairy tales once in a while, and it feels like they kind of have a few that they reference more than others, like kind of that are the most popular that everyone generally knows something of. So like they love the Little Mermaid story, but the like dark version,
the original Little Mermaid.
But I feel like Alice in Wonderland gets brought up a lot, just like narratively within a lot of the shows, and sometimes it's a passing thing, but then they'll kind of bring it up anytime there's anything with imagination. I mean, it comes up a lot, in my opinion. Like it really does get mentioned often.
I wonder if it's one of those things where you know, with them having the like the gummy hose and the like the monkey gods and all the different thing, if there's something about the Alice in Wonderland that connects better to their own mythology. So it's like, okay, yeah, we get that anthropomorphized animal. That's a thing. We, you know, and so they can kind of.
I think it also makes like a popular story trope is like going between worlds, right? And so for example, I think a really good example is King Eternal Monarch, because there was the whole thing with the clock, right?
Yeah.
And so that's an allusion to Alice in Wonderland, because the white rabbit that she follows down the hole has a clock that he's always, checking out. And she had the bunny help, like the outfit that he was following. Like it, so it was that one especially, I think, is like a really big, like, okay, I see the references happening here.
Like just Alice in Wonderland in general, the kind of like passing synopsis of the whole story is about like adventure, but also kind of that like in between the reality, like your world, adult world, and your childhood life. And I think that like just that alone makes it easier to kind of like transform into drama narratives and tropes and that sort of thing, because we always have that kind of like growing up issue where it's like you were young and now you've got to do the old things. And I think a lot of like K-dramas, maybe not like purposely, but like in general, have like a lot of like these like doing adult things, like getting a new job or like love. And so it kind of narratively fits and ties better with the story, because you can kind of generally like fit it in with a lot of the stuff that they would already be doing.
And what's also nice about Alice in Wonderland is you can, like, thematically or narratively, if you just bring up one little aspect of it, you kind of recognize, like, okay, we're talking about imagination or between worlds or things like that. And it's like, and that's if you just take that small string, like putting it in through the drama,
follow the thread.
You don't have to like follow it through to like a queen chopping off heads. Like you don't have to go that far with it. You can just kind of you can put it in easily. Like Jessie was saying, like it matches very well and naturally with those things. Even on some like titles. Now, I did not watch Alice in Borderland, and I don't think I do not know how it applies. But like the title to me is like, it always makes me think Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Borderland makes me think of Alice in Wonderland.
Well, I think the illusion there is definitely a popular type of story that does come up quite often, not just in Asian television, but also in a lot of specifically Chinese fantasy novels, is the concept of a portal drama. It comes up in manhwas a lot too, which is basically where you fall into another world. And I do believe that Alice in Wonderland was the first really popular version of that story, of someone falling into another world.
Diablo in the back, like tip tap. He's like, tap dance. Look at me, tap dancing.
So basically, with Alice in Borderland, they have fallen into another world that is like a evil child game version of the real world.
Yeah, and there's like these series of like rooms and like traps and that sort of thing, and it kind of like mimics what Alice in Wonderland is, because it's just like you have these like, even though like the story is not like death if you don't get through this room, it does have that like kind of like series of like
dangers,
different things and dangers, and you don't know what's going on, and like you get tempted to it, and some people don't like go for it, but others do. And
then it also has that, the meeting, people who may or may not be speaking in riddles or telling you the truth. So it is like very much like illusions.
And even a couple of the main characters, right? Like their names were kind of like, wasn't one of them.
You probably, but like I didn't look into it that much. But
I don't like
remember.
I have read that
since I watched it.
Yeah. I do remember seeing something where somebody was talking about it, that like one of them had a name that would sound like or translate as like Alice, essentially, or something. And some
like
stuff
I'm
like
sure
that,
it's there. It's just like not something I like focus on in the thing. Also, I'll never focus on names because that's how I am.
I can't remember names.
And it's got a lot of like card based stuff to it as well as a big major theme in Alice in Borderland. So like it's definitely there, and just in Japanese entertainment alone, names are really big, and the way that they make names, they always translate to something that's going on in the show. Like if you watch any anime and you start to translate any of the names that the main title characters are given, they will always like refer back to the movie or the title itself. So it's always specifically referencing what's going on in the show.
Then there's the K-drama Alice, which I do not necessarily recommend at all. I did not finish it, but it definitely there was a jump between worlds. And I think that's the main reason. And there was time travel and all types of stuff. But I think the main reason they named it Alice was obviously because they were trying to give that tie of between worlds. So.
Is that the boy from Wonderland one or the
No, that was
No,
the Boy from Wonderland is a movie.
Okay.
Alice was the one that was like 2020, 2019, something. It's like fairly recent.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
It was the one that a lot of people like me were really interested in because it was sci-fi. And it had a lot of interesting elements to it.
Right.
Kind of went into another interesting element.
Then when you start flirting with your mom from like the future past thing,
it gets a little weird, you know. It has like that real like stepmom, what are you doing vibe to it that we're just like
so
no.
So there were a lot of people like me that were really interested, and then we were like, oh, I'm never gonna know the end of this show. That's okay.
Well, you gotta just like close the laptop slowly and just walk away.
I'm gonna pretend like this never happened. And the sad part was it was a very engaging show because there was like they're like these murder flying robot things. Like it was cool, like the special effects and stuff. Really unfortunate that but it was obvious that like the way they named Alice and all these things, it was they were trying to make you think about Alice in Wonderland without explicitly saying it within the show as the show was running. And so sometimes shows don't even like talk about it again. They'll just put it in the name or put a name over here, and it's like, oh, you're supposed to connect the dots with that. So what about that movie? Like, because I remember you guys had talked about it before.
Alice Boy from Wonderland, and it came out in 2015. I have not seen it yet, but it's labeled in some places as a horror. I think
it was more like a psychological horror.
Or a thriller more than anything else.
I haven't.
Stars a bunch of people you know, so
yeah. It was on my list initially because I really like him, but then the more I sort of heard about it and stuff, I was like, maybe not. Maybe
so the character is played by Hong Jung-hyun, we all know from the model group, but like Jung So-min is also in it as the main female lead. The synopsis on Asian Wiki is that Hae Jung, who's played by Jung So-min, can't remember anything before the age of 4. Every night she experiences terrible nightmares. Unable to cope with the nightmares anymore, she heeds the advice of a shaman and goes back to the villa where her family stayed 24 years ago. The villa is now known as Wonderland. There she meets Hwon, Hong Jung-hyun, and Surun, Jung Yeon-ju, and a white rabbit. During the next 15 days, Haejung has to find something that is missing. If she succeeds, her nightmares will stop.
And I've read that it's very dark, like because I've looked into it because I was interested in it too. I was like, oh, I probably am not.
It is on Asian. It is on Asian Crush, so not sponsored, but you can watch it on Asian Crush.
If we had planned things better, I probably would have before we recorded. But it's been hard. We've been doing a lot of stuff.
We've been doing a lot of stuff. We've been, so we're taking it easy today because we've been what's the word I'm looking for? Restructuring how we do things, and occasionally that means that you have an episode that's more of a casual affair where we just chat about
We're
stuff
not
like
perfect
today.
Always.
We try our best, but sometimes
I'm curious because I was like searching just Alice on my drama list to see what would pop up, and there's a drama that's supposed to be coming out this year called Ultimate Weapon Alice.
Ooh.
About a mysterious transfer high school student who's also a killer.
Love
At
it.
the new school, she meets a student who suffers from trauma, and somehow they're going to be chased by a criminal organization.
Yes.
So
Japanese?
What?
No, Korean.
Korean?
What?
Oh.
Korean.
It sounds like
yeah.
it sounds
We
like
all look
very
puzzled at this
Japanese.
information.
So it's
Alright,
going to be on
okay.
Watcha.
Oh, Watcha.
Oh.
Watcha is slowly like coming up on, as Watcha, you're intriguing us,
force.
Watcha. You're intriguing us.
I recognize her. What's she from? Oh, the actress was in Never Twice and So Not Worth It. I'm Not a Robot, Marry Me Now, School 2017, Radiant Office. Like she's been in. She played a ghost in Goblin. So
Fun.
Oh.
yeah, she's, So there's nothing in that description that says to me Alice in Wonderland, but there's nothing in that description that says that it's not either. You know what I mean? Like I could very much see how elements could wind up being in there somehow.
So I would like to talk about Alice in Wonderland themes K-pop side too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that Victon, which stands for Voice into the New World, even their name like kind of has a subtitle to it. And so their fandom is Alice. And then even their light stick is like a large key. It's shaped like
clever. So just everything they've always done. So not necessarily their music videos or anything like that, but when it comes to when they're doing like fan meetings or things like that, it's quite often very lightly themed, like Wonderland Alice
type,
Wonderland.
Or very imaginative. And the name Alice, since it's already like a girl's name, like it's always an easy thing for them to use as a fandom name. So
at least it's like a fandom name that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not like that.
Sometimes they're not that great.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Sometimes you're sitting there like, okay, then we sure.
yeah, like, okay.
All right, I guess I will never refer to myself as that. Okay. Looking at you, Wonho. Looking at you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, also in Bunnies, Pink Fantasy does it a bit differently than a lot of other groups. They actually, part of their appeal, or like one of the things that they specifically did for their concept, is that one of the members is always in a bunny mask or head or something like that, and is never going to be revealed until like they get a certain goal, and I can't remember what the goal is off the top of my head. But if you know Pink Fantasy, they're a very they're a smaller group. They're not well known. They do have like kind of more horror rock, J-rock vibes going on with their concept, but they're from a smaller company. It's kind of one of those like things where you're like, oh, I don't know if you'll ever get there. I hope you do, but it's hard watching it. Sometimes you're like, oh. But there is this whole like myth with the girl is that like potentially she does it because of stage fright, so she can still participate. There's also like a possibility that it's actually the CEO of the company, because the CEO of the company is a younger female.
I like this intrigue.
K-pop, so they think like maybe it's her, and that's why they're doing it. So there is a little mystery to it. Will we ever see who that is?
It's fun and like
I don't know.
Getting a little creative out here.
I don't know personally if it's like a specific reason why it's a bunny. If you know, Sky.
Like back when they were kind of first coming out, I thought the reason that like they were keeping it on, and the goal I thought was the first win, which I thought was quite the goal for.
I do think it's like a fairly big goal that I was like, oh, this is a really tiny group, but from a tiny company, I don't know if they'll get it, especially with a rock-based concept.
Right. Yeah. And I want to mention Billy really quick. So Billy with 3 L's, because we do. Billy. A girl group that debuted this year. Was it this year? This year's been very short so far. Maybe it was
at the very end of last year.
End of last year.
I feel like it was like maybe December.
They're not necessarily like heavily Alice in Wonderland themed, but they're very heavy mystery. But the reason I'm bringing it up is they have kind of this last comeback. They have a mythical character that's a bunny with one eyeball.
All right.
Okay.
Cyclops, Bunny.
They had like prior to that they had a really cutesy like winter song, and it had they kind of had like an Abominable Snowman type, like they seemed
was
to
like
like
more
these
that, yeah.
mythological cryptid type creatures, and they have some strange name for like this cartoon looking bunny with one eyeball, and it seems like they're going to keep bringing it back up, and it somehow has to do with their memories and dreams and things like that. So I wanted to mention that bunny because it's cute, creepy. It's a cute, creepy thing.
I do know that in 2015, IU did an album called Chatshire.
Oh yeah.
And she had a music video from it for the music video 23, which was Alice in Wonderland themed, where she follows a rabbit around doing shenanigans.
And that definitely plays into that like whole the transition between your younger years into your adult years.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And special love of this podcast, 2 p.m.s, my house, where we had some Alice in Wonderland themes happening there. Sexy Alice. Remember how I said that there was always an erotic version of Alice in Wonderland? I can't.
Well, it's definitely more of like, princes and stuff like that, but they definitely have the like, there's a part where like a bunny is like singing along when they're like, they do a part where like, it's like a voice effect of one of the members and you actually see like an actual bunny. Like it's not even just like someone dressed up as a bunny or something like that.
It's a literal rabbit.
Yeah, it's a little rabbit there just chomping away at something, make it look like it's singing along.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
And Elris did an Alice in Wonderland version of one of their music videos back in 2018.
Okay. Newsflash, I think Elris just this week got renamed.
Oh, did they?
Possibly to Alice, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, what?
Alice.
I heard about that. Yeah.
They got renamed to Alice like this weekend.
Well, I think they're going hard on this Alice in Wonderland situation.
They debuted back in 2017, but yeah, they just they changed their names. Their name this week, I think.
Look at this timing. We just pulling up this
Look at
music
that.
video.
We've been putting in news.
Summer Dream.
Yeah. This is a mashup of anything I wanted to say.
The music video is called Summer Dream, and they did an Alice in Wonderland version. So, and now they're called Alice.
When I was just looking them up, and then you've got such different concepts for them. Wow. But like the one concept, the first one that comes up, has almost like an Alice in Wonderland blue and white and pink gingham, like kind of Dorothy and Oz and stuff kind of vibe to it. So yeah.
And if we're going fictional K-pop groups, on the show Invitation, the girl group on that show had an Alice in Wonderland theme too. Or the Tea Party? Was that the name of the group?
Yeah,
I do think their name was Tea Party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
I had blocked that out of my mind.
Never forget about Tea Party, the greatest girl group trio that has ever lived.
If you're looking for music videos that are very stylized, Alice in Wonderland, the boy group Boyfriend has one called Bounce, but they are all in very kind of gothic Alice in Wonderland type vibes, and they are all sitting at a table into it, so really fantastical, and they're all different characters from Alice in Wonderland, they're dressed up like that as well. So it's a fun video too. If you've never heard Boyfriend, they are they're good group.
They are good. Are they still
technically they're gone but not gone. They're in a weird area. They're not the Starship anymore.
They haven't done anything.
Well, they did do a fan concert or fan meetup within the past year or so. So
there's still hope.
There's still hope. They still talk to each other. I know I follow a couple of them on Instagram, and they seem to be, besides the twins, because they obviously still talk to each other, but other members.
Listen, we're going to it
we don't work together anymore. You're dead to me.
Still talk to each other.
Stuff happens in families, okay?
It does.
Possibility.
It does.
This is true.
These things happen, you know. We don't know them personally. We hope that they continue on as a group, because they have some really good music.
Yeah. I really like them. They've got some fun stuff.
For the like stylized videos too, I really like the one for Rabbit Hole by Percent with Suman in it. And they both kind of do up the rabbit theme, and then there's like a whole kind of, I don't know, it's just very cool that like the backup dancers are dancing kind of crazy and they're dressed up like, it's got a very Mad Hatter kind of vibe to the whole video, but it's very bright and colorful, and the song's good too, so like that's nice.
I do want to say a very common like visual motif, definitely I feel like it's more of a K-pop girl group music video thing quite often, is kind of the Mad Hatter Tea Party table. I mean, and they might stylize it, you know, differently within that, but it's often the whole group sitting at the table dramatically doing something. And I always think of the Mad Hatter table whenever that comes up.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like a connection, like, or if there's like some thesis out there that people have connected it with, like the Knights of the Round Table or like medieval times where you have like everybody surrounding by it, because there's a lot of power play also involved in those types of long tables. Not just like obviously like they're like reasoning to do that sort of thing would to get all the people in one shop. Like there's a lot of people, right? So like it's a very big thematic thing in just in general, even in life, like as a power thing that like kind of ties in. And it ties in with Alice in Wonderland, because there are definitely power plays in that.
It can go like one of three ways in that. It can either be like the Alice in Wonderland Mad Hatter's Tea Party, then you've got like medieval like aristocracy situation, and then you've got Last Supper.
Well, yeah, we literally just tied this to Easter, didn't we?
There you go.
Like if we're talking like EXO's monster, that's Last Supper. They've got the Last Supper vibes happening there. But I feel like I actually, for a second, this is gonna make me terrible because I have a degree in theology, and I forgot Easter was Last Supper time. For like a moment, I was just like, oh yeah, that's
the thing. Yeah.
Right.
You do see those long tables in like dramas too, but it's usually like the super wealthy person,
that's true,
and then like the poor person coming to have dinner for the first time with the wealthy, and they like power play that, that. Or like sitting across the room, or
the difference
whatever.
between like maybe the parents and the child, like like something like Boys
like
Over Flowers, you kind of see that, like where what's his face and his sister would always sit beside each other, but if like the mother came, she was at the very end of the table, and there's like that distance and that kind of divide on like them being as a family.
What drama did you mention?
Boys Over Flowers.
Boys Over Flowers. I heard the flowers part.
Oh,
correct.
Yeah.
That could be
I was like, flowers.
Yeah, true. Like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of like the mock jungs have it
for sure.
Always.
Like,
anytime there's rich people.
It's like a rich people thing.
Yeah. But I feel like even in like I Am Not a Robot, for some reason it's stuck in my mind like that the villainess character, she's very alone in her fancy house, but like if she has a guest, they're like opposite. I remember a huge table, and it would be like kind of, it would show the distance between she was very out of touch with other people. So it always tells something.
Yeah.
But often with the girl group music videos, whenever, especially when there might be a lot of florals, there's a lot of flowers and stuff, that always makes me just think Mad Hatter, just because it seems so pretty. Like anytime that's just really pretty at the table, I'm like, Mad Hatter. Like that's the way
it's kind of like Wecky Mecky's music video for why am I blanking on the name? It was like one of their last comebacks. They like start off all at the table, and they're all like drinking and eating and having a good time.
I can't remember the name of that either.
And that's got like a lot of kind of more chaoticness that like an Alice in Wonderland type Mad Hatter Tea Party like brings, because it's definitely like not them separated. They're all together and on one side, and they're like eating all this like good food or drinking wine and that sort of thing. And it's got that
I wonder if you were like a literature person, if time-wise and history and stuff, if that Mad Hatter table in the story is referencing things that would have been, kind of commonly known at that time
Probably.
too. Like that
Like-
power play thing and or even the adults and the children's table, that kind of, because in the story that's like Alice's thing. She wants to have tea with her family before she, she's a grown-up now, and so I wonder if that's supposed to be part of that, is, now she's getting to have tea with the grown-ups, but the grown-ups are crazy.
She's finding out how crazy
She's finding out
grown-ups
that grown-ups are insane.
the grown-ups aren't like
Yeah.
we think in our minds. You
And
know?
then I think like the aesthetics of specifically the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland are what has become sort of synonymous with Alice in Wonderland. So you see those aesthetics, like the wild top hats and like, the little fascinators and the poofy skirts and the
Yeah, and when you think of the Cheshire Cat, you think of the Disney
the
version.
Disney version.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because it kind of makes you wonder, like, let's say you didn't have the Disney concept of Cheshire Cat in your head. Conceptualizing of it would be very different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you go by like the actual book and like literature. A lot of it is just you see his smile and his grin in the like, distance or in like the dark. So there's not a lot of like full on. Here's the cat.
Yeah,
very creepy.
My first, like, before, I never saw the Disney version when I was a kid, but there was, in the 80s, there was a musical mini-series that was on television, and it had huge stars. Like, Sammy Davis Jr. was the caterpillar, and like it huge stars. So for me, the Cheshire Cat is always Telly Savalas. That is who the Cheshire Cat is in my brain, and he was just like this sarcastic, like, weirdo. It was so good. Like, everybody was in this thing. It was crazy, but like,
that's funny.
So speaking of Alice in Wonderland, were there to be a fun Korean version of Alice in Wonderland, who would we cast? We haven't done this in a while.
I know.
This is so exciting. Who would we cast in all of the roles? Maybe not all the roles, but like the big roles.
I definitely have in my head Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and I think if Sky thinks about it, she will also have the same conclusion as me.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
No, think about it. Think about one of our favorite groups that we share.
Okay, a group.
And they have a
Group that we
duo,
share.
maybe an idiot duo.
Oh,
no, 2 idiots.
No, you're correct.
2 idiots.
You're correct. That is a good.
A great one.
So for those of you that don't know, In Flying the Band has 2 members in it, the drummer and the guitarist, Jaehyun and Chahyun, and they have their own YouTube channel called 2 Idiots. And they do crazy things, and it was extremely popular for quite some time, and then they got busy, and I mean they're still kind of popular, but yes, because they would be hilarious as Tweedledee. I agree with this completely.
Assessment.
Yeah.
Yes. When I think Mad Hatter, I picture G-Dragon. Like,
He
I
would be
feel
pretty
like
good.
all that aesthetic, and then Top can be the March Hare sitting next to him, being like sarcastic back at him. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and he's all about like the different chairs that are at the table. Like,
Right?
he's the one that put the specific chairs.
Well, listen, he also would be the one in the production of this to be like, I think I got the perfect chair.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I got a chair for you.
Oh, but even the so in their recent music video, Top was he was wearing a rabbit.
That's
That's
true.
right.
He was.
A rabbit
He
mask.
was wearing a very
Face.
unsettling rabbit mask. I
He
described it.
apparently has at home because, like,
Of
on
course
his
he does.
Instagram,
Of course he does.
he did a selfie of himself in the bunny mask, and he was like, "I'm going out to see the like cherry blossoms."
No,
Bye."
of course he does. The way I described this mask to my husband, I was like, if the Donnie Darko mask had fur. That's this mask. That's like essentially
Oh.
the vibe that we're going with.
So he's already got a March hair thing going on.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know? Perfect.
For Alice, now I was thinking Park Bo Young because I feel like she's excellent at acting, but also looks about 15 no matter how old she gets.
She would also be really good if you were actually like trying to hone in on this like production as like the narrative of the like you know young and old. So she's got like
because she is both young and old at this. Well, she's not old, but like
older than what the character of Alice is.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Can you imagine Park Bo Young like playing off of G-Dragon the
Oh,
Mad Hatter?
absolutely, I can.
Like,
She can play off of
I am
anyone.
here for it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come on.
That would be wild.
So now we need the Red Queen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, are we doing like? There's the Red Queen, like the Queen of Hearts, and then there's the like the Red Chess Queen and the White Chess Queen, and they're like separate, but like they kind of like put the Red and White Queen and the Queen of Hearts like in a lot of like retellings of it. So are we doing 3 or just 1?
Or
Well,
2.
if we can come
could
up
do
with
red
more.
and white, sort of like the Disney live action versions they had.
Yeah,
the
because
Red
like
Queen and the White
I
Queen.
feel like for the Red Queen, Xion from Dreamcatcher would be so good at it.
Oh, yes.
But if I was thinking of like the Queen of Hearts, I could almost see someone like Hyolyn or Jessie doing it.
Right.
You know?
Or like
Yeah.
I could see like or like Boa, like because usually when the queen shows up, it's a big deal, right? So yeah, like it has to be somebody who's a big deal.
Wait. Okay. There's someone that we know of who has wanted to play a villain and never gets to play a villain.
That's true.
And
That
would
is
be
true.
incredible.
Yes.
Park Min Young.
Yes, absolutely.
Young.
Yes. Yes.
Red Queen, Park Min Young. Park Min Young.
Off with their head. Off with their head.
Oh.
Can you imagine
The
Park Bo
vigor
Young and
she
Park
would
Min
bring to
Young
it.
like going toe to toe with stuff?
Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we're doing it to ourselves again, ladies.
We're doing we
I
do
hate
this
that
to
we do this to
ourselves
all the time.
every time.
It makes us frustrated that something doesn't already exist.
I
somewhere.
know. And like we'll never. And then you're like, oh.
So we still need a White Queen, or do we want Boa to be the White Queen?
Well, it could be the White Queen. The White Queen's like a little bit more. She's nicer, and she kind of guides Alice more. Like so, Boa is that type of person. She and just
Mentor
in her life,
type.
yeah. I think that something like that would be good.
So like we've basically got 2 big roles left. Well,
We do.
2.5. So we've got 3. One, we got the Caterpillar, who's like less of a big role, but still shows up quite a bit.
I think
Interesting character. You got someone?
I don't. Maybe.
Okay.
I was thinking Jackson.
Yes.
Love it.
100%.
I
You
mean-
are correct.
That whole blow video where he's blowing off.
Yeah, no,
You know,
perfection.
that really works
He
with that
he
whole
didn't know it, but
thing.
he was advertising for this very specific podcast episode that we are doing right now. I've literally been sending the blow music video to like the locals. Okay?
You're like,
I'm working.
Watch.
I was like,
Just throw it
yeah.
at them.
I was like being all casual. I was like, yeah, like one of my favorite soloists just put out a new music video. Like, check it out. Like he's pretty good. Like, and they were like, wow, this is really good. I'm like, I fucking knew it. Guess what? Guess what? You've been hoodwinked by Natalia. What's more, sucker? He's already got the corset. He's looking great.
No,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Love it.
So now we're left with the White Rabbit and the Cheshire Cat. Now the Cheshire Cat is a real tricky
It has to
business.
be somebody with a big smile, like somebody
Real
known
tricky
for their
business.
We do have
smile,
someone
right?
that we haven't cast yet that needs to go into our cast. Not the okay, there's I guess technically 2 because we do Kim Won-hee. I'm not talking about Kim Won-hee, but
Wait, don't worry. We'll find someone.
we'll
for
find
him.
something.
Don't worry.
A very big name in our podcast.
Well, we
I don't want
need
to keep taking like people.
Are we talking about Kim Sol-gi? Okay.
Well,
Who would she play?
She could be the Duchess. You know the Duchess who's got like or the like her cook who's like throws pepper around and stuff. Like there's
Mm.
there's that whole thing with the Duchess. The Duchess and the Queen of Hearts like hate each other or something, and they have like a real, in the scenes where they're together in the book anyway, they're very antagonistic. I could see her enjoying that.
And in terms of Kim Won-hae, he could play every single one of the card soldiers. Just every single card
Every single
soldier
one.
is Kim Won-hae. Just
Love it.
down the, just
Perfect.
every single one. Kim Won-hae. Just Kim Won-hae being various versions of
So
himself.
good.
Sort of like that mockumentary
That we made.
where he plays every
Yeah.
single member of an apartment building. No.
That's just his lot in life
Just-
now.
listen,
We're
we
gonna
just-
let it happen until it shows up in Drama Land. That's what we're doing.
Listen, we're manifesting here.
Yeah.
We want more
There
of
you go.
it. So Cheshire Cat is kind of, we need someone who's kind of weird, right? Who kind of pulls off bizarre very well.
Yeah, but also like I don't know, it has like a lot of musical theater quality to her or them.
Because it could be male or female or
Oh,
no,
you know who could be good? I mean, not from a K-pop perspective, but that oh shoot, I can see his face, but not the actor from The Last Empress. He is a
From
musical
Rock.
theater dude,
Yeah,
and he has
that's
the
true.
biggest smile, like widest mouth.
That is a
Ooh.
good
I could
choice.
see that working.
Counterpoint. Okay?
Yeah.
Joe Kwan.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh.
Very much so.
I kind of love that. In my head, I was also kind of thinking maybe the girl who plays the young version in Kingdom, she's also in Sea, the space water show,
Oh,
Silent Sea.
Yeah,
Silent Sea.
Space
You know
water.
the young girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she was
just got that
good.
like, but like I like Joe
Joe
Kwan
Kwan.
better.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he has that
Mhm.
je ne sais quoi trickster quality to him.
He does, but like he's like he would have the movements that like
Yeah.
because like the Cheshire Cat is like elusive and
Linky.
like a snake
Mhm.
almost, but not a snake, you know. And
Right.
I feel like he would.
Like Joe Kwan.
Yeah.
Like you
I
need
like
someone that has a strong like stage presence because
And
every single
if
time
we're
the Cheshire Cat
talking
comes on, it's
Weird
That's it.
stage presence. Joe Kwan. Yes. Which leaves the White Rabbit.
I mean, I kind of want it to be Wonho just because I want him to be like bouncing around and like
In a little
I think
vest with a little.
yeah, like it would be.
Mhm.
I think he'd be super cute at it.
That's true.
He would. He definitely. I would put him definitely as giving us the OST. So there's that.
Yes.
Kind of also, I'm trying to think of like maybe not a K-pop person, like
Yeah,
a
like
very,
an
like, serious
actual
actor. 'Cause
actor.
that one's like even though he's like hyper active just because of he needs to do everything he needs to do. It's like it's like one of the serious roles, essentially,
Yeah.
you know, in the world of Alice in Wonderland.
I'm thinking like Oh Jung-se. He was the one who played the brother on It's Okay to Not Be Okay.
Oh,
You know, he's in everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
feel
can
like-
actually see him doing that really well.
I feel like he would be really good at that role.
Yeah.
Because he literally plays every single, like he's played every type of character.
I
you
will
can possibly
say,
imagine.
if this is a Netflix production, it'd be Song Kang for sure.
Well, yeah. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, of course.
we're not limiting ourselves to
We don't limit
Netflix.
ourselves like Netflix
Okay.
does.
Like, listen, our head canons aren't limited by studio. They can be whatever they want to be.
But we
Listen,
have Netflix budget.
Yeah.
Our
Netflix,
production
if Netflix
Yeah.
was brave enough, they would make this. Like if they had the balls to make this
Mhm.
reality.
In my head, I just thought of something.
Okay.
Like I like Joe Kwan as our Cheshire Cat. I really like that. However, if we were like only putting this as like actors wise,
Mhm.
I just thought of the really bad guy from Happiness. I think he would be absolutely stellar in that role.
He would be so good. I don't even know what his name is, but he would be excellent.
I know.
The really bad guy.
The
Like,
human-
okay, like I realize that it sounds bizarre if you haven't seen Happiness. You're like, that's a show about zombies. There's a
he's
real bad
here.
guy.
Let's go to Happiness and look at what his name is. so people know. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I think
Yeah.
he was in something else like right afterwards too, where he played a bad guy.
His name is Baekhyun Jin.
He's got that smile. It's just
Yeah.
that's what in my head I like was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he was in The Devil Judge. He was in Taxi Driver. He was like, yeah, he's.
You know him. You know who he is because he's not just
You've
in
seen
Happiness.
his face.
He's the type of actor that he can fit into those, like, I'm not saying he was in Penthouse, but those Penthouse-esque,
Yeah.
Yeah, over the
high
top.
society, like he can even do those types of roles and still fit into that.
And I always think it's really fun when like Alice in Wonderland does like where you meet like the people in the real world, and then they all just play the same. Like it's the same actors between the people in the real world and so all these people can just be regular people in the real world, Alice's world, and then in the Wonderland world they're all these fantastical, crazy LSD vibed creatures, and it's just a delight. Like, and while I do think he would be great as a Cheshire Cat, Joe Kwan.
I know, Joe Kwan. Yeah, I get it.
So good.
But if we need an understudy, he's the understudy.
Yeah.
Right, like this is the K-pop version, and this is the straight.
Yeah.
Or you know, when you do productions, especially like you do have the different sets of.
Yeah, and in Korea they don't just do understudies; they double cast like full set a lot. Like that's a very common thing in their theater world. So,
there's
the theater version.
There's like
TV version.
Sometimes there's even like 4 different versions of
yeah.
Listen, I don't want this to become just a Joe Kwan love fest, but Joe Kwan love fest. He's wonderful.
He's so wonderful.
I don't know how they identify because it's always up in the air and translations are weird. But
yes,
Joe Kwan.
To Joe Kwan.
To know Joe Kwan is to love Joe Kwan. You know. And if you've never experienced Joe Kwan, do yourself a favor.
Even if you're not into K-pop, please just
go check out Joe Kwan because they're wonderful, and they're part of the group 2 a.m., which is a vocal ballad powerhouse.
They've also been in a ton of musicals
and they do solo work. And I have never seen someone dance so good in the tallest heels you've ever seen in your life. I would break my ankles immediately. They're rocking it.
I think I was watching The Manager recently, and it was an episode that Joe Kwan was on, and they mentioned whenever it was trying to get a like leave from the military when they were in the military, and had to dance for like the general or whoever was in charge of that. So like, because that was the question. The reason it came up was like, and Joe Kwan was like, I have never done my like, he does the booty shaking dance. They said like, I have not done that more out of the, like, I did it more in the military than I did out of the military.
Like, every once in a while, like, you know that military conscription is a thing, but then there's, like, certain people that you're like, why would they want them in the military? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain, like, he's one. Taemin is another one where I'm like, why would you want Taemin in the military? That's a terrible thing for your military. And so it's like Kwang Yi. You know what I'm talking about? Kwang Yi from ZEA?
Yeah. What?
And also, when he came out of the military, he looked rough. He looked like he had a bad time.
Yeah, some of them are feel really bad because it's just not for everyone.
Not for everyone.
Definitely.
So anyway, Joe Kwan danced for like this general or whoever, and then was awarded leave to go. Because,
like, why does that feel real shifty? Like,
no, well, they made it sound funny and cute. They didn't make it seem.
I know.
It just sort of sounds like he shook his ass for pay right then. Technically, I guess that's part of his job. So
he is an entertainer.
And he is entertaining.
You know what? We don't shame. You can do whatever you want to get your money.
We are pro.
Except maybe don't kill people.
Pay. Get that cheddar.
Yeah.
Maybe
get
not.
that bread.
I am. No, I was going to say I'm willing to. There's some people in this world, but no.
I mean, okay, like. There's some people that maybe it's not to our taste to witness that, but there's someone for everyone, I hear.
Oh yeah, I was talking
Jessie
more
was
about
talking about murder.
yeah, I was talking about murder.
Oh, murder? Oh,
He missed the murder word.
never mind. I take it back. Moving on.
No, I think everybody should be allowed to if they want to. Yeah. Fuck beauty standards. Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em. Purge time. Okay. I'm kidding. We are not advocates for the purge here on the podcast.
Oh.
This was the dark corner of Alice in Wonderland for a moment.
This might be
I will say, for me personally, I never saw the whole thing of Alice in Wonderland as a kid because I thought it was creepy. Like I would watch
I can
it
understand
and
that.
I would
Kind
get
of
scared.
It is.
It 100% is creepy.
It's
No.
it's scary. I mean, even that musical version that I watched, because it did it in two, so it did the, through the looking glass part two and everything, and the Jabberwocky in that thing. Okay, when I watch it now, I have the DVDs of it, and it's terrible. Like it's so bad. The animatronics of it, the puppetry, it's horrible. I was so terrified of that thing. Like nightmares for weeks. Like it was the worst.
It definitely has some horror aspects to it.
Well, that sort of thing happens like when you're a kid, because when I was a kid, I distinctly remember being very freaked out by the scene in the labyrinth where the puppets are all changing their heads.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And then I watched it as an adult, and I was like,
Like,
that's
this
such a
is
fucking
really
wuss.
whatever.
Like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, that's the thing that disturbed me about the movie The Labyrinth. That out of everything happening.
When my kid was little, we bought like Fraggle Rock because I was like, I remember Fraggle Rock being
weird.
awesome, like so good. She was terrified. That first episode, she was absolutely out of her mind with terror when they went to the trash heap and the Madam Trash Heap came and the big ogres were chasing them. She was screaming her head off, and I was like, no, but it's fun. And she's like, no. And like even now, she's like,
no,
so much older, and she's like, no, I'm not going back there. Like it was that bad.
Like, no, I've been scarred. Fraggle Rock, like, you think about it fondly, but now that I'm thinking about it, fucking weird. That was a weird, listen, children's entertainment is fucking bizarre.
Yeah, especially like our childhood and like
it's still weird.
It is, but it's like in weird or like it's a different weird.
Kind of weird now.
Like I babysit a little 5-year-old who lives downstairs from me, and like we'll be watching Netflix and I'll let her pick, they have like the Netflix kids account, I'll let her pick whatever and stuff she's watching, and I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck is this? Like what the fuck are we watching? Like what is it? I'm just sitting here like, so you like
this?
You like this? There's like this. Anyway, I'm not even getting into it because it's fucking weird, but there's something about there's like this little show involving a hairy gnome that gets into nonsense and has like a parrot. I'm just it broke me watching it. I was like,
that's like, as a parent, if your toddler learns to love something that doesn't drive you out of your mind, you like encourage that.
Yeah,
like,
that's like that TikTok.
This, so we will keep watching it. Yes.
The TikTok, the kid loves the weird doll or whatever it is.
Oh, the creepy totally not haunted doll. Yeah. No, I'm
go
listen, ACAB, but I try to get
like,
that, like ACAB, but I try to get that kid to watch Paw Patrol because I'm like, please, can we please watch anything but this weird ass fucking mute gnome who.
There's only one cop in Paw Patrol.
Yeah, it's like, listen, the rest of them are like firemen and stuff. They're cool on my boat, but Chase can ACAB Chase. I'm on to you, okay? Class grader. I have more questions than answers about Paw Patrol, but that's an episode for another time.
Are we ready for some Madlibs?
We are ready for some Madlibs.
We haven't done Madlibs in a while.
I know. Listen, we're getting all the old classics back in action. So we found a. We don't think about these Madlibs as one of us will randomly Google one, so we don't know if it's any good.
Yeah, we just kind of surprise ourselves.
We're just
didn't look up Alice in Wonderland ones.
Yeah, we just
although
looked up
maybe I
bunnies.
could.
So this is called a bunny story Madlib. Okay, it's very short. So we need a bunny's name. I
Wonho.
think we should. Yeah, I was just
Wonho.
gonna say we should go Wonho. And if
Yeah.
you want to see, this is a little treat. Some chaotic Wonho as bunny content. We recently did a live stream where we were unboxing albums, and one of them was Wonho's new album, where he has what can only be described as a love turned to horror story involving a bunny costume. It takes a wild. The album takes a wild turn. You should go check out that replay on our
definitely.
YouTube. It's very fun. We need an adjective. Remember our 4th grade grammar, everyone.
I was gonna say purple.
Purple?
Sure.
Purple. We need a fun event.
Fun event.
K-Con.
KCON.
yeah.
That's a
Okay.
good one. Okay.
Yeah.
We need a noun.
Table. We talked about big table. Matt.
That's true. And then we need this one's tricky, ladies.
Oh no.
We need an adverb.
Does that mean it ends in ly? Is that what
Yeah,
it
it
is?
does.
Yeah.
Swiftly.
Swiftly? That's a good one. Swiftly. Okay. Build story.
That really
Okay.
was quick.
That was tiny.
This was the tiniest. I don't know if this one's very good. This might get cut out, but listen,
No, we're leaving it in.
we're leaving it in. It's not a very good Mad Lib. I'm calling it already.
Well.
Okay. Okay, this Mad Lib has failed us. Okay, once there was a purple bunny named Wonho. They were purple and nobody liked them.
Oh.
Lies. Everyone likes Wonho. One day there was KCON and the purple bunny won.
Okay.
They got a table and then everybody liked Wonho. They made lots of new friends and lived swiftly ever after. The end.
Wow.
The end.
Wow.
The worst Mad Libs ever
Okay.
invented. Okay, let's. Alice in Wonderland.
I searched
Mad
Alice in
Lib.
Wonderland once and I found like a college one, but like it doesn't give me the Mad Lib, it just gives me the filled in version. And I'm
Oh.
like, ooh, this one looked like it was good, but like give me the unfilled in version.
It doesn't even like show where
Okay.
it was filled in.
Okay, so I
Oh.
got one that is an Alice in Wonderland Mad Lib.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
try this again. We failed
Yeah.
with the bunny one, but
Yeah.
let's see if this
Redemption
one's
arc.
any better. Google, the gods of Google have given us an Alice in Wonderland one. We need a noun.
A
Teacup.
noun.
Okay, we need a past tense verb.
Oh boy. They're asking a lot, aren't they?
We are asking a lot.
Dance.
Danced. Okay, we need an adjective. I'm gonna go with
Furry.
furry. Okay, we need a present tense verb.
Drank.
Drink.
Drinking.
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 Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah, I did past tense. So
We need a noun.
Light stick.
Light stick.
Oh.
Nice.
We need a present tense verb. Another one. Come on, ladies. I believe in you.
Swimming.
Squinting?
Sure.
That's what I heard.
Swimming,
I'm-
but
She said swimming.
Oh, was it swimming? I can change it to swimming. We need an adjective. I'm going to put in buff.
Okay.
We're talking about Wonho in our previous
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Verb ending in ing.
Dancing?
We did dance.
Oh, that's
Mm.
true. Signing?
Signing.
Yep,
We
and
need
signing.
a noun.
Hat.
Cat.
Hat.
Oh, hat. I can hear. I can
Hat.
understand. And then finally, we need an adjective.
Trippy.
Flowery.
Trippy.
Ooh, trippy.
Trippy.
Nice.
That's good.
Was that what you said?
Yeah.
that-
Yes, that is what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see where this takes it. Okay, this is called Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just entered Wonderland. Want me to tell you the teacup? Okay, long story short, I fell down the hole and danced through the ceiling. What a morning. Then I found a way out. I was too furry to go through the door. Nice. So I drank the drink that said drinking me. Oh, we actually figured that one out. I got small enough to get through, but I left the key on the light stick and I couldn't reach it. Sweet. So I ate the cake that said swimming me and got buff again, got the key and drank some more so I could fit. I unlocked the door, and soon as I got through, I was told I wasn't the right Alice. Now I'm signing a caterpillar whose name sounds somewhat like a Greek hat. I have a feeling this is going to be a trippy day.
Sounds like it already has been.
I think it's already been a bizarre, wild time. Oh boy.
Okay, well, you can't win them all.
Listen,
That was a Mad Lib. That
it was a Mad Lib.
It was. We just said we were going to do one. We didn't say it was going to be good.
We just said it would exist. Listen, this is not our fault. This is the fault of the Mad Lib. We put in the effort of remembering what words mean what.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So,
I haven't failed that once.
listen. I don't know what it is, but every time a Mad Lib is presented to me, despite the fact that I read constantly, okay? I read a lot. I forget what words mean.
Well, it's because you're put on the spot and you're like,
my brain's like, you don't know anything. Adjective, never heard that word before.
And here's the thing with Mad Libs, in my opinion. If, let's say, you work really hard to come up with really really funny words,
Mm-hmm. It never
then
works.
sometimes that like breaks the story completely to where it like doesn't flow at all, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then just like what happened, if the story is very plain, and if you didn't like
put in the zazzy, funky words,
super zazz for all of it, then that's what you're left with.
Yeah.
Oh well,
it's always never know.
It's a luck of the draw, really, with these Mad Libs. Like,
I
You
find it's
never
hard
know.
too when you do a themed one, because my brain is thinking, like, we're thinking drinking, we're thinking, like we're thinking Alice in Wonderland things because we're already thinking Alice in Wonderland. So then it's like, we
listen,
put Alice in Wonderland into the Alice in Wonderland thing. Like, okay.
Yep.
but if you are a person who knows of like K-drama or K-pop Mad Libs, please email us.
send them to us.
We
Please
will do
contact
them
us.
on the podcast at some point. We
Yes,
really will.
certified Noonas, or if you even if you create some Mad
if
Libs,
you want to create one,
if you want to make some Mad Libs,
definitely.
we will 100% do them and
Give you
know,
credit.
give
We
you
will give
100% credit on them. You
Absolutely.
can email those to us at certifiednoonas@gmail.com. And you can always go to certifiednoonas.com, our home on the web, where all of these episodes live with all the links to stuff that we talk about. In addition, if you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednoonas to become part of the Certified Found family, where we do fun stuff on the web, just for those special people who just want to help us out. And we think they're great. In addition, we have been working very hard on doing a lot more stuff on our YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/certifiednoonas. We would love it if you are on YouTube that you could go, subscribe to our channel. And we do lots of live.
If you know people, maybe your significant other could like throw us a
Just-
subscription.
Yeah, just like
If you don't know, YouTube does this thing where it unlocks things when you have
a
like
certain
a
number,
certain number of subscribers.
so-
You don't even have to actually watch the videos. It just needs that number.
But if you want to watch the videos, we would love for
Yeah,
you to.
yeah,
And we would
we'd
love for
want
you to
you
come
to
to our
watch
live
them.
streams. We are now working very hard to do at least one live stream a week. That is most of the reason why this has been such a cash, bizarre episode, because this was the month that we were setting that all up. And so you should check that out. We have a schedule on our Twitter of the days that we're doing stuff and what we're doing that we're going to put out every month with our live streams of the month. And we would love to see you there in the comment section, just chatting with us while we do it. So thank you for listening. You can find us on social media. It's always at Certified Noonas, one word, but we are mostly on Instagram and Twitter. And we love hearing from people. So please hit us up. And we hope you stay safe and you wash your hands and you wear a mask. And of course, always enjoy Asian entertainment. Bye.
Bye.